All right, my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to talk some more about PS5 Pro. And, you know, the overall reoccurring theme that I find in the comments section when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro. You know, like I made the video yesterday talking about PSSR and how, you know, like Digital Foundry's going out of their way to nitpick every single thing. Well, if you guys remember correctly, when I first started this channel, my biggest issue with the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 Pro before that was, I mean, I guess even PlayStation 4 to an extent, was the fact that the experience across first-party games and third-party games was quite inconsistent. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. When you look at Xbox first-party games, they don't really go out of their way to create these hyper visualized, over-the-top games like PlayStation first-party games do. And we all know that. Like, we as an Xbox fan, you literally get beat over the head all the time with, ooh, the graphics, the quality. You know what I mean? Like, we get beat over the head with that. But then over on the PlayStation side, and, you know, one of the reasons why I was like, perfectly fine going over to Xbox and buying all my games on the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series X, was just, I knew that I would get a consistent experience. Whereas on the PlayStation, for PlayStation, because I've always been a PlayStation fan. I've been a PlayStation fan since the very first PlayStation. I've bought every one of their consoles, including their Pro models. And I've always fully enjoyed my first-party PlayStation experience. Now, PlayStation 4 was my main platform. PlayStation was my main platform all the way up till PlayStation 4. I even bought the PlayStation 4 Pro right when it came out, and that literally was my platform. And I admit that back then I was pretty much like a pony. I was a straight-up pony. I'd make fun of, like, you know, like other people over on Twitter and stuff like that, you know, because I was like, yeah, man, this is great. But then Xbox One X came out, and I noticed this like trend where Xbox games were good. You know, I got in there, I was playing like some Gears 4 and, you know, like some Forza, you know, Forza Horizon, obviously, some Forza Motorsport, a bunch of other games, you know, just fully enjoying that whole Xbox experience. And then I noticed it pretty rapidly that, like, when third-party games would come out, they wouldn't like exceed what my Xbox games were, and my Xbox first-party games weren't like exceeding what the third-party games were. It just felt like a pretty consistent experience across the board. Well, here's the thing with PlayStation. And this is why, like, you guys are making a big point about this, and I get it, because I made a big deal about this when I first started this channel. You can go back and watch my old content, bashing PlayStation, being mad, you know, that, look, you know, obviously the checkerboard rendering is going to look really good on the PlayStation first-party games. The third-party games aren't going to do it good. It's going to be an inconsistent experience. You're going to get really good-looking PlayStation games, and then that is going to completely kick you in the butt when third-party games come out. And now we have, you know, games like Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Alan Wake 2, all of these games coming out and having PlayStation 5 Pro patches that are not meeting the standards that Sony first-party games have been able to create, and extend that to second-party games, you know, like obviously, you know, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and some of the other games, you know, like Stellar Blade, or these other games that are actually looking incredible with PSSR. But then when you get out there into the peripheral of like all of the third-party, you know, you've got Dragon Age Veilguard, you've got all these other third-party games that just are not doing very well when it comes to the overall PlayStation's PSSR. Now, I want to show you guys this little exhibit right here, okay? This right here, this controller is the PlayStation DualSense Edge. This is Sony's $200 top-of-the-line controller that you can get for PlayStation. This PlayStation controller has adaptive trigger support as well as haptic feedback. You know, those are Sony proprietary features that are part of their ecosystem. Now, guys, I want you to take a look at this controller. This controller is the Nacon 5 Revolution Pro. This is a licensed PlayStation controller that costs $200 from Nacon, and it is an incredible controller. Like, I absolutely love this controller. It's got the, obviously, you know, you got the Xbox layout for the joysticks. Very cool. Now, the features of this controller are haptic feedback, or Hall effect joysticks, Hall effect triggers, so you won't get stick drift and you won't, your triggers won't get. But the thing is this controller does not feature haptic feedback or adaptive triggers. Those are Sony first party features that they do not license out or do not play well with other peripherals. Now, this might be the case. Like, how can a company like PlayStation literally prevent a company like Nacon from having those proprietary features that are part of the PlayStation 5 experience? So if you buy this controller for your PlayStation 5, PlayStation has made it so Nacon cannot use those features in a controller built for the PlayStation 5. Only Sony first-party developed controllers can utilize those features on their platform. So right there, that should tell you that PlayStation probably doesn't play very well with third-party developers in terms of their PSSR. Or maybe they do, or maybe they're just like, hey man, you can have it, but we need to do this. We're afraid that you're gonna leak our secrets to Xbox or somewhere else. Maybe that's the case, guys. Maybe that is why PSSR is not really up to snuff, you know, in some of these games, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just an implementation. Maybe they're holding it back from them. Who knows? All I know is that PlayStation does shady things like this that make it so their stuff always seems quality and premium, and that is like, that's always been like one of the problems that I've had with PlayStation since I've started this channel, my friends. It's not that I don't love PlayStation or don't think they do quality stuff. Obviously they do, but I feel like third-party developers are at a significant disadvantage when it comes to PlayStation first party. You know, they didn't have that sweet Call of Duty money to be able to build out these games on a budget like that PlayStation can throw at their games. And the funny thing is it's like people, you know, everybody champions and cheers on PlayStation and says, oh, they're the best and everything else. And the honest thing is, guys, is you can buy an Xbox and have a pretty consistent experience all generation. Like, you could buy a Series X and have a consistent experience across the board throughout the generation. Obviously, you're going to get, you know, games that are looking really good. Now, obviously, the biggest thing this generation, the wild card, is Unreal Engine 5. The devastation that freaking engine does to these consoles, and even like mid-range PCs, is an absolute joke. Like, these consoles are super powerful. Like, these were double, almost triple the power of what the last gen consoles were, and they are getting brought to their knees. Sub 1080p resolution on Unreal Engine 5 games. Let that sink in for a minute. Like, seriously, stop and think about that. And then when I see the people that are coming out and they're super negative toward the PlayStation 5 Pro, you know, it's kind of weird, you know. I finally am like, you know what, guys, I harp on that stuff, and like, most people are not even going to care about this. But then the moment that I'm just like, all right, you know what, guys, people aren't going to care about this. People are just not as invested in this. I want to, you know, cast a wider net and have more people feel comfortable here. I don't want to keep having to fight and argue with people on the channel all the time. So I'm just like, look, man, we already know that these are consoles, okay? These are consoles. If you wanted high resolution and frame rates, you would have had a PC. You wouldn't even be playing around with the console. So we already know that you obviously care about the console and you're invested in it. That's why you're here watching the content, because you want to either A, know if it's right for you and if it's worth it, or B, you want to like continue to how do you say that? Like you want to keep reinforcing the mindset that you already have about it. Like, oh, it's not worth it, or you want to be mad at people that are saying that it's worth it, or coming here and telling me that I'm like a PlayStation shill or something. And you can never win on the internet. Like I don't even care. Like seriously, it really used to like kind of hurt my feelings a little bit that people would call me a shill, because it's like, dude, I'm just honest. I'm an honest guy. I like to try to be honest and say what's on my mind. Like I don't sugarcoat shit. I don't, I just say what's on my mind. Some people like that. Some people hate it. Some people like it and think, oh yeah, man, this is a console war channel. Other people are like, oh man, yeah, I feel the same way, dude. I don't want people to feel ripped off when they buy a console. Like I don't, but the sad, honest truth of where console gaming is going nowadays, my friends, is you buy a PlayStation, like it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years since the PlayStation 4 came out, or since the PlayStation 5 came out. When that console first came out, we were getting 4K, we were getting 60, we were getting, all of that goodness. It was fun. It was great. It was, for the most part, it was doing good. We were getting 4K 30 and 1440p 60. So for the most part, it was doing pretty good. Then we start getting to the, Unreal Engine 5. We start to see the console like literally nosedive under 1080p. And now we got a PlayStation 5 Pro with PSSR. PSSR is going to continue to get better. I just downloaded the update for Callisto Protocol. I'm going to be checking that out. We're going to see how blurry that one is, and you know what I mean. Like we're gonna figure this out. Like we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Like the thing is if you don't want a PlayStation 5 Pro, why are you even talking about it? Like seriously, why are you watching content for a console that you want nothing to do with? Like if you're fine with your 864p. Be fine with your 864p. I'm not judging you, man. If you're happy with your PlayStation 5, be happy with your PlayStation 5. The only way PlayStation can cheat you is if you go out and buy a PS5 Pro. They didn't cheat you. It's been 4 years. They literally put out an updated PlayStation 5 console that's better, and they want more money for it. So that's the thing. You either decide, okay, I'm going to go spend more money for it, or you don't buy it and you continue to play your games at 864p. Like that is your choice. That is exactly what you get to do. If Xbox would have launched a console, I would have bought one. When AMD and NVIDIA launched GPUs next generation, I'm going to buy one. Why? Because I want to continue to make my experience better. Like that's just, it is what it is, my friends. Obviously, at least you get 2 extra years instead of a GPU generation. If you want the best, you got to buy one every 2 years. Whereas with the console, you get 4 years, guys. So when I look at the the comments and the people that are just going negative toward the PlayStation 5 Pro, just remember, if this was Xbox and it was Xbox that was doing an upgraded content or upgraded console, you would be over there. If you were an Xbox guy, you would absolutely be buying this. You would be playing it. You would, some people would be justifying the $700 price tag. Some people would be trying to, make hate content over the $700, and I get it, man. Like nobody wants to pay $700 for a console. Like they don't want to. I've said this before. Yes, console prices should be cheaper. But then again, is it worth it? Absolutely, I think so. I think $700 isn't too much for a pro console. That's the thing. It's a pro console. It's not the base console. The base console price clearly is $500 now. Well, in Xbox's case, they're trying to do it at like $300. So when you look at that and you take that into consideration, you've got anywhere from $300 to $500 for a regular console, and then you have a pro console that is, more than that. Can PlayStation charge that? Absolutely. You guys wanted Xbox dead. Xbox is basically third party and puts their games on everything now. You got your wish. You got your wish. You got your wish for Xbox to not be competitive. You trashed it, you didn't take it seriously, whatever, they died. And, you pat yourself on the back and be like, yay, I get $700 to $1,000 consoles now. Pat yourself on the back. You're number one, man. You are number one. You got exactly what you wanted. You got it. You won, and this is what you've won, Bob. You get $700 consoles going forward. Like it is what it is. Like accept it and move forward, or buy a PC. It's really that simple. You go out, you buy a PC. Boom, you're going to spend more money, but you're going to have a lot more longevity. You're going to be able to do things on that PC far long after the console is completely forgotten and there's a new console to replace it for another $700. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be spending $500 to $700 on consoles anyway, so you might as well just get a GPU, build a PC, and then start spending that on your GPU. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys, man. If you want to be mad at PlayStation 5 Pro, be mad. Be mad all you want. Me, I get to enjoy it. I get to enjoy all the games I already bought on it. I get to have upgrades, and I get to play those upgrades, and they look great, and they feel incredible. I finally get to play the games that I wanted to play on a 4K screen. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. Like, I'm sorry that you're so upset and so angry about PlayStation 5 Pro, man. Like, we're all gamers and we just want the best experience. And I get it, man. I get that a lot of people out there, and I feel bad for them. You know, a lot of people out there are raging because it's $700. Like, I get that, man. They want it. They absolutely want it. Why wouldn't you want it? This thing is incredible. That's the thing. Like, it is incredible. Like, it's like, wow, this is damn good. And as somebody that has a beefy PC, I can literally look at the PlayStation 5 Pro for what it is, just like I used to be able to look at the Xbox Series S for what it was, and the Series X and all of that, and be like, look, man, this thing is pretty impressive for what you get and what you pay for it. Like, yeah, obviously it's a console experience, but it's pretty impressive. It's impressive. To me, it's impressive like the Xbox One X was to the Xbox One S, or yeah, to the Xbox One S generation. Like that, it's that impressive to me. And I'm grateful that Sony has, you know, given us the ability to like upscale some of our other games that are on there and stuff. It's been fun, guys. Like, it has absolutely been an incredible experience this last couple of weeks since I've bought the PlayStation 5 Pro. I absolutely love this console. I think it's incredible. And you know, people want to be mad about stuff, and it's like, dude, like some of those games, like Jedi Survivor doesn't play good on PC. You know, Silent Hill 2, I wasn't really super impressed with that one. And then Alan Wake 2, it was like, gosh, I turned off all the ray tracing to play that game anyway, so it didn't matter. Like, it looked incredible without it. Like, you could literally barely tell a difference between ray tracing and no ray tracing in that game. So it was just like, who cares? I played that game at like 130 frames a second or something on a 7900 XT. I thought it was incredible. I had fully enjoyed that game. It was my game of the year last year. So yeah, guys, I get what you're saying. And I understand that, like, yeah, man, we got to nitpick it. We got to do everything we can to try to, it doesn't matter. Sony's not dropping the price, dude. They're not going to be like, oh, okay, well, these guys are saying mean things about the PlayStation 5 Pro. We better drop the price to $500 so they'll buy it. People are going to buy it. Everybody that wants one of these is going to buy one of these, whether you like it or not, whether you fight back with your wallet or whatever you're going to do. Seriously, fight with your wallet. Spend as much time and energy as you can railing against the PlayStation 5. Do it. See how much happier it makes you. When I guarantee it, if you just go spend the money and buy it, you're going to be happy. Like, you can sit and piss and moan about the $700 all you want, but at the end of the day, the only person that's hurting you by not having it is you. Like, seriously, you. Nobody else cares if you buy one. Nobody else cares how you feel about it. Seriously, you are literally freaking out and being upset over a console that you could literally go get and enjoy. Like, you go buy it now while it's fresh and brand new, it's going to be incredible. You're going to have fun with it. If you literally piss and moan and wait for 2 years and then finally pick one up, then you just literally wasted 2 years of your freaking PlayStation experience playing shit at 864p, being mad and pissing and moaning. And dude, seriously, honestly, why don't you get PlayStation back? Go buy a PC and be like, I'm done with PlayStation. I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, that's your only other option if you want better looking visuals, dude. You're either stuck with 864p or you go get PSSR and hope that PlayStation is nice enough to let third-party developers use PSSR to make their games look better. Like, it is what it is, man. That's why PlayStation for me is literally a first-party box, and I don't usually go out of my way to buy a whole bunch of third-party games on it. But yeah, guys, all right. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. We'll see you in the next one.